Today we're reviewing Cancer and the lymphatic system. Okay, Barbara, whenever you like to share.
Okay, we're gonna start with the Cancer and lymphatic system. And before I share the PDF that I created, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna go, like always, from the technical part and what is the Cancer, what is the ruler planet, all the way to the chart. This time, because I think it's a lot of information, it's a lot to share and talk about. I'm not gonna do the charts. Everybody, when they were asking me, I'm gonna show in my chart, so you can go over your chart and place and try to find your Cancer area, in which house. But mostly, I'm gonna explain and I'm gonna go deep in what is the fourth house, and so let me start sharing. Someone has the hands on? No. The hands up? No. And of course, you can write the questions, and Fifi is gonna read to me because I won't be able to see you. Here it is. But please prepare your questions, and because this is an important area in the chart, very important for me. I mean, I say the same about all the areas, but this is very key. And it contains a lot of reality, it's like family and society, and it's the mother and the father, and it's the rule and the emotion. So it's a lot to share. Okay, welcome back to the fourth constellation. Again, this is the chart that Fifi created, the template that you can use if you are following the 12 system, and with all the information that Matias presented in regard your astrology and the biology and so on, and the people that you are choosing. So this is the first blink of the chart. I'm going to show you with my chart, and then I go to what is Cancer. So Cancer is always the fourth house, which is right here on my chart. But for each person, the constellation, for example, my constellation is up here. So this is the fourth house. In my case, I have the Capricorn energy, but Cancer is up here, is on my 10th and 11th house. So what do you have in this is my Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. So what do you have in the Cancer area? We did house number 1, Aries. We did house number 2, house number 3. So we are working with Cancer. And I will explain again about the layers and about the templates, because we have the pizza, the cross of the pizza, if you remember, that's the houses, and then we have the constellations, and then we have the ruler. So there are always 3 areas that we're going to find the energy of Cancer. In the house, in the constellation, the mine is up here, and in the ruler, in this case, the moon. My moon is down here. So we have 3 places that they have the same energy, the same Cancer energy. So it's not that we are talking about just one part of the chart. It's going to be in different places. Any question about that? Because it's key, and I'm going to open because I want you to be sure that you understand this part, that we have 3 areas that we find the energy. Okay.
No questions, all good.
No questions, good. Okay, so we already covered Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and now Cancer with the reproductive system, muscular, respiratory system, and now the lymphatic. We still are in the body part, and after that we're going to jump into the soul and then to the spirit. So these four are covering the four elements. I'm going to go explain that again in the next slide. Remember the journey. I'm going to put always this one. We come to experience and collect information from the other side, through the body, through the senses, through the mind, and now in this new place that we are visiting, that is Cancer, through the emotions, through the water. So this is our first water. The first four elements round. Here we are. We're going to work in this Cancer with the water element. The water is always hand to hand, or what can I say? What is the word? Sustained by the earth. When I show you now in the next slide, the chart is going to be water with the earth on the other side, because you have Cancer, like we are going to go now. On the other side of Cancer is Earth, Capricorn constellation. When we talk about the Scorpio water, on the other side of Scorpio is Taurus. Then when we talk about Pisces, the other side of Pisces is Virgo. So the balance of the water, or the integration of the element of water, is going to be with the earth. And the other side, or the other signs that we already went to, Aries, Gemini, is fire and air. And this is the energy that we're going to go with Pluto in Aquarius. That is going to be air and fire, and with the 2000 years of the Aquarius age. So it's going to be fire and earth with these characteristics. And with this pair, is very different. The Pisces era was water and earth, very emotional and pragmatic. This is going to be crazy and explosion. So be ready. It's completely different. The energies that the water with the earth are, the air with the fire. So I wanted to bring this because it's not only, we don't see only in each house or each sign, it's also in a bigger scale. Like we can talk about the 2000 years of Pisces, or the 2000 years of Aquarius that is coming. So this is the balance, or the energies that we're going to be working with. And of course, in the Cancer that we're going to work now, the water is sensitive. You can read here, sensitive, feelings, flowing, tune in. Meaning is inward. And here again, I use this one. And in the process is experimentation, the water, and the energies is intuitive, artsy, psychic abilities, nurturing, empathic. This is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces for the three water signs. Empathic, passionately emotional, deep feelings, self-protective, addictive personalities in the kind of a shadow, and very private. They are all inward. They go within. And here is I call it triad because I feel more comfortable with that. It's like each element, it comes in three. So, and three are in three different levels. Like, remember, we talk about it with the air. Let me see. We have the air in Gemini, then you have a higher octave kind of in Aquarius and Libra. Then you have in Aries, the fire. Also, you have three different conscious. The point is, in this soul's journey, is to bring more consciousness, and we do it through the elements. So each a scale in the element is another step of the element to bring more consciousness and more understanding. So in the water that we come from Pisces, that if you remember is the 12th house, the beginning and the end, the emotional part of Cancer, and the deep emotional part of Scorpio, dark night of the soul. So the three are very, very intense water, emotions, and information. We're going to go over that, but I'm going to go deeper because the three has information. And the three process information when you are born or when you come here to do the soul's journey. The information comes in the water. The information goes through the water or the lymphatic system. What? Oh, I don't know if it was an echo or someone was asking something. So the water in Pisces is the water that we bring from the other side, all the information on the cellular memories. You know, we come in our mother's womb in Pisces on the 12th house, and then this water from Cancer is the family they contain and is the family tree. You're going to see it on the slides in the following pictures. And then the Scorpio water is the water, the dirty waters, they say, the dirty waters that needs to be washed and let go. Remember, this is the dark night of the soul. That water is the one that cleanses. That's what Scorpio is intense and is deep. Like Yoli was sharing, like before we started recording, she's a Scorpio and people come to her with deep stuff, healing and heavy things, and because it's a wash, it goes deep. In one of the classes that I took many, many years ago, when they explain about Scorpio, it's like if you have a container with the stones and you put water, Scorpio is the water that they can go in between every single angle, like in every single part. I don't know. I'm listening my echo. I don't know if someone has the microphone open.
Anybody hear anything? I don't hear anything.
No, I'm
No.
repeating the echo. I don't know. Anyway, is the water, the echo of the waters. So the Scorpio was like the deep waters in between, you know, it can go deep, deep, deep. And the water of Pisces is the mist. It's like the magic and the mist and the other side and the spiritual and all that. And the water of Cancer is the water of who we are, is what contains us. So each element with different 3 levels of expression. And today we finished with the 4 elements. We did the fire with Aries, we did the earth with Taurus, we did the air with Gemini, and we finished with Cancer, that is the water. Now, when you go to your chart and we find the Cancer area or the 4th house, it start in that line or this red area that is called Imun Coeli. And there are 4 points very, very important in astrology that are these, and they form the cross. So the ascendant, the descendant that we already talked when we talk about the beginning in Aries. The midheaven, when I explain this area, the midheaven is the brightest and the gift and giving the gift when I go through the 12 houses soul journey. And this one is the Imun Coeli, and is the area of the ancestors. And this is like a Taurus, and this is the area where here you give and here you receive. What do you receive here? You receive the information from the family. That's what this is, the water family container, where your mother is the moon. The mother is the giver. So picture this as the entrance point. Is feminine. It takes. Here it gives. It comes out. And this is the presentation of the constellation. The symbol is the crab. The ruling planet is the moon. It is the 4th house that we already So where it's located, the element is water, it's a cardinal. The cardinal meaning star in the line. When it's a cardinal, all the houses that are in a line, that start the line, are cardinals. And the key word is I feel. Cancerians are nurturing and protective of others. Their ruling planet is the moon, and they tend to be moody with constant change in emotions. They are also likely to be security conscious and high value their home life. That's the area, remember, is the area of the family, is the home environment, and is the home, the roof that you have on your shoulder. It's not only that contains the family as a system, it is the home that you live in. And when you do mundane astrology, that area or that constellation is the country that you belong, that you live. That's your country. And the moon represents the population when it's a mundane astrology, the people from your country. They might appear passive and they tend to rely on their feelings to make decisions. Yes, they are subtle rather than direct. Yes, they are not Aries, they are not fire, so they're gonna go around trying not to, well, not if they are in a higher consciousness. If not, they can be very, very direct and very like vomiting all the feelings without any type of filter. So they might be careful, very subtle, but or they can be direct as an Aries, as a fire, even more than a fire. Cancers, they have, I know many cancers, and they can be very, a lot of polarity. They can be very sweet and reserved, or they can, at the same time, they flip and they can be very violent, like the water. If you boil the water, it can be very dangerous. The same with Pisces, and the same with Scorpio. It's easy to boil the water, people. So it can be intuitive. And remember when we talk about it on the other part, like these are the characteristics: intuitive, protective, dependable, sentimental, self-reliant, compassionate, home-loving, generous, helpful, tall, loyal, kind, wise, and silly. The moon is the ruler. The moon, when you are in a reading, where the moon is, it represents your mother. So in many of the readings that we have, what I have with people, when I refer of your needs, it can be related to what you need to cope with some feelings, or it can be related to your mother. When the transit is going through your moon, it can be also talking about your mother is going through something, or is bringing your mother's memory, or is activating something like dynamic with your mom. So it does represent the mother. It represents the emotions, because the mother is the first, is the one that is just move all the waters and represents all the emotions contained in one person. The mind, the imaginative power, the psychic abilities, remember, is contained also is in the water, so it transmits information in feelings, information in intuition, in for example, Pisces or Scorpio. Scorpio also is very intuitive. So even this is for Cancer, the moon is also related to the water. On the other water signs too. So everybody knows that the moon rules the water on the planet, the tides up and down, and we are 60-70% of water inside of us. So the moon, it also affects us in the mood, in the feelings, and in our lymphatic system. I did some for parasites treatment, in my treatment that I'm doing, and we started the parasite treatment with the full moon. So many things are considered with the moon, not only for agriculture, that also the moon is following the, let's see if there is a picture here. No, the moon is also count for many things in the agriculture, not only the sun. So our waters and our lymphatic system is very affected by the moon and by our emotions, of course. In this picture, I show that what we see in the chart or in our life, everybody knows this. What is under the waters is the majority. The conscious is what we see, and all the subconscious and unconscious is on the water signs, Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. All the information that is very subtle and very, very, very deep and personal and hidden, it is on that area. It is on Cancer. It is in our waters. And of course, I think I shared this article that it was really good. I don't know if people saw that on the 12 system group, the relationship about trauma or the emotional trauma with the lymphatic system. Again, is related to the water, again, is related to the emotions, and is related to our systems. The lymphatic system is flashing and is moving the stuff that it has to be released. Fifi is going to explain more about the lymphatic system, and I can't wait for that because I'm working, mostly all the illness are related to the lymphatic because it's a port. And this is February, this is this month, is moon cycle. As you see, every 2 days it change sign. That's why personally, I don't follow the moon much. I'm more, even in my dailies, I'm more connected with the sun. Since a child, I love the moon. I think it's cute. I love to take pictures. I think it looks awesome, but it's, for me, following so much change because my mind is already like too much air. Gemini, Virgo, Aquarius I cannot handle like to keep track of something changing every 2 days. Every day and a half is a new energy. We are living in this craziness and this like constant change, constant pressure, and the moon, that is our mood, change every 2 days. So that's why we are kind of crazy. That's why we don't know sometimes, like if we are up and down, or if we are happy and next day we are sad, and then it's too much. There are so many things that are said in astrology and the conspiracy theories about the moon. I'm not going to go through that, but I know many that scroll on Facebook are going to see the moon is artificial. There is a base of reptilian. There is a ship, spaceship. There are so many things said about the moon. The only thing that I'm going to say, because it's from here, again, is like, for me, it's uncomfortable to follow so much changes. So I don't do the new moon ceremony or a full moon ceremony. I think it's every day and every sunrise is a ceremony, and the sunset, that's what really moves me personally. I'm more connected to that. They are the two big luminaries. The sun is the masculine, the moon is the feminine. I don't know if that has to do with my femininity or my masculine or side or not, but I do move by the sun. Yeah, like I have 2 million sunset or sunrise pictures on my phone. It's just, that's what calls me. So many astrologers love to do the moon ceremony, love to connect about planting the seed for the new moon, and knowing that in 6 months is going to bring something that, it's a different path, but I want you to know there are two different things. The moon is one path, and the sun is another path, or resonate if they go together. Okay, here, and I wanted to bring this because everybody talks about the south node and the north node, and we love it. And I mean, personally, when I do the readings, everybody wants to know about the north node. It's our north, but what is it? Where is it? Many people don't know, and it's related to the moon. And it's related with the eclipses. So why? In the technical astrology, I want to show why. So the nodes are not a planet, but they are the cross point, or is right this tiny point from the ecliptic of the sun, the earth around the sun, and the ecliptic of the moon around the earth. So this tiny point and this tiny point is what you see in your chart, that is the north node and the south node. And it's very important because the three most important tribes on the astrology is the sun, the moon, and the earth. So it's bringing those three informations together. That is the destiny, and is the karma, or the stuff that you need to let go, and the stuff that you are looking forward, or like a life mission to came to learn. So, and the eclipses are always going to go through this area. I think I put a picture here. It is also, the eclipses are always on the area where the nodes are, because it's where they cross. This is what you see again, the ecliptic of the moon. This is a different angle, and the ecliptic of how the earth goes around the sun. So these little dots are the nodes. And here are the eclipses. Again, that's why it's so important on the eclipses. They are related to the moon. The shadow of the moon, or we see our shadow reflected in the moon. It is connected with our emotions. It is connected with hidden information. It is connected with what is the sun reflecting, or like a laser. Like a laser pointing straight to our emotions. What are we gonna see, or what type of shadows we gonna see? So again, these three big ones, sun, moon, and earth, they give you the eclipses information related with emotions, of course, and shadows and hidden information, and the nodes. Now in the chart, going back to the elements, every person has a balance or imbalance or predominant energy or not. In this case, I wanted to put this one because this person has a little bit of water. So each chart is going to bring you information also in which element you resonate the most, or which one is missing, or the ones that you need to work the most. Like if you don't have enough water in your chart, it's like your emotions are not going to be easy to express or filter, and it's going to express in your body because you have stuck emotions, or maybe if you have so much fire, you're going to be too explosive. That's emotional too. So you can see the balance or imbalance, or the element that is going to rule your life, and how are you going to bring balance to that? If you have so much fire, you're going to work in air, like you're going to be breathing work, trying to get the fire down, or you're going to work in your emotions, that this one is like, looks like you have, this person needs to work in the emotions because is the less that it brings. These two are balanced, so these are kind of good, earth and air. So fire and water are the ones that are calling in this lifetime for this person. And this graphic is the one you in every side you're gonna have the elements portion, the proportion. This is from the Astrology Master app that I use, and I love it. Okay, this one we keep going technical. So what we normally talk is about this part, the houses. This is when we do the 12 systems, we refer to the houses, and then you find where your Cancer is in which house, and then you find where your moon is in this case. And then if you are with an astrologer, you find what the moon is talking with other, the aspects is called the aspects, what the moon is aspecting with other, with the houses or with the other planets, but this is the layers. So the basic that we talk in this class is just the basic, because this is too much. So we understand where is the Cancer house and where is in your chart. And we overlap the information. That's what we have been doing for all the other signs. Okay, so I'm getting more deep into the waters. Cancer, 4th house, and water elements. I'm gonna start talking about the waters that comes from these waters that we remember when we say, wait, the soul's journey. This is the mother's womb when you are inside the mother, connected as one, and you are receiving through the waters all the information from the other side of the veil, the information that you bring, the information that your mother brings as a cellular memory from her ancestry, from her, not only ancestry, from her path. You have your mom and your dad information in that container of water. Then everybody knows, we come to the body, we go through the senses, we go through the mind, and here we connect with the family or belonging. This is the area, or this is the water where the mother is nurturing, the mother is containing, the baby is realizing, because if you see this line that you come awakening the mind or making conscious the mind body, you are getting a sense of belonging. Okay, yes, I can see, I can understand, coming from Gemini or from the house of the mind, I'm understanding that I belong to this group. In Gemini, you see around, you see your neighbor, you see your environment, you start understanding that the Gemini is the neighborhood, is your siblings, is the first thing that you have, like pair, like equal. The first, that's what is a twin. The first understanding of someone is your equal. That's what is the house of siblings. But then in this one, you have the sense of authority and protection. Name it the mother or the father figure. It can be the masculine or feminine energy. And of course, on the other side, as a Capricorn, that's the father figure, or this is the protector. This axis, and this is why for me is so important, this axis. This axis brings the structure. This is the skeleton. When we get there in a few months, you're gonna see the skeleton system that is our structure, give a structure to our waters and to our bone and to our body, and it's a system. Not only that, is, remember, this is like a toroid. I'm gonna show that in another picture. This is what we give, and this is what we receive. We receive from the society, or from the father, or from the cellular memories, or from all these houses, and we bring it in to create more. We are connected with the Leo. I want to talk about these two transitions because this is the Leo and is the heart and is the sun. This is the house of the sun that it is coming after, but I want you to see as a whole, not just one house, not just one little pizza slide, the triangle. It is connected with what is behind and what is on front. It's never just alone the fourth house. You have the heart and you have the sun and you have who you are. This is the I am conscious that it comes after the water. The same thing here, when you go through the dark night of the soul or all the stuff that you need to process when you lose or when you have to release something and you come to the fire of Sagittarius, or here down here you come to the fire of Leo to reveal yourself, or you come here to the fire of Aries. After you do the process of experimentation, the Matias says, after you do the experimentation, you have to use the fire of the process of what's coming. In this one, because you are getting consciousness, in this one, you are building yourself like, okay, yes, I belong to the family. I have nurturing, I have love, I have this family, I have this house that is giving me the structure, because we're not going to forget about the father and the other side that it brings as a pair, the mother and the father, or the society or work and family, because this is like what we do. The 10th house is the professional life, and this is home. And again, if we are too much in the house and we don't work, it's not going to work. If we are all the time working and this is unbalanced and we don't pay attention to our feelings or the family, or we are too rigid or strict as the Earth Capricorn, the emotional part is not going to flow and it's going to be stuck. So the astrology, that's what is for me that I like. Integration is so hard to explain. Cancer, let's talk about Cancer, emotions, the moon, blah, 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 because I don't see it that way. It's related to the Leo, it's related to Gemini, it's related to the father. It's like having a kid and it's like, where is the father? Where is the father? Where is if you have a mother, if you come from two, you come from the structure of the masculine and the feminine, or the mother and the father, or work and family environment. And in the middle of every system or every axis is to find the balance in the middle. So where your Cancer is, or your mother is, or your nurturing area is, you need to see what is on the other side, because it's bringing the balance and it's talking about where is the support that you need in that area, or what do you have in this area that is going to bring information to your waters, or where your Cancer is and your Capricorn is. And I'm gonna see if this was the slide, or let me go, keep going. Okay, this is the same. This is for you to remember that each one contains the other one. When we're talking about the fourth house Capricorn, the fourth house of Cancer, the father is here, the structure is here. It's not just the emotional. They are both holding you. They have to be. You come from both. And also that I was going to share about my emotions, or I was going to say this. Where is fear and where is love in the chart? Because we talk about the moon and we talk about Saturn and we talk about the other planets, we talk about Aries or Cancer. Yeah, one is more nurturing, the other one is more passionate, the other one is more aggressive, the other one is more, but when we talk about love or feeling contained, or feeling the fear, For example, where is the fear in the chart? When I see my chart and I get news about medical issues that I have, and I go through love, through fear, it's not in the chart. That's personal, and that's who we are. We're not gonna see it reflected, because many people ask me. That's what I'm bringing this. It's not gonna be show. It's gonna our life is gonna show aspects, but the love and the fear is so deep and personal that it's gonna be reflected, but it's gonna be just inside of who we are. No one is gonna be able to see my fear or to see my love. I can show it through Cancer. I can show it through the energy of Aries, but it's below, it's above all this information. So someone asked me how astrology is going to evolve. I don't remember who, but someone sent me a private or put it on the 12 system. And I say, when we just connect more with the love, or when we can be above all this information, that's the fifth dimension, you want to call it, or when we get to the consciousness that we don't need so much reflections of health issues and family drama and Scorpio darkness, or fires, or more waters, or more tsunamis, or things like that. So remember, the emotional things from the fourth house is sustained always from our structure or mirror or Capricorn side, or our father or our mother, as reflections. And here is the same that I was just saying. Cancer and Capricorn represent the mother, nurturing. The other side is father, the discipline, the practical. And also, when we have a feeling, or we have a situation in our Cancer area or in our feelings, and we have someone on the other side that is judging us, because the other side of Capricorn, that is very task oriented and is very focused, and you have to do it perfect. Is perfection, is logical, is practical, planning. It's like you have to, it's discipline. You have to do it this way, and then you have the other side of the Cancer that is like, let me feel, let me go in my blanket, let me go cry, and no, you have to go to work, or you have to do it this way. So it can be very uncomfortable and very, let's say, unbalanced, or feels very inappropriate, or very hurting, because again, both things needs to be balanced and working together. You cannot be too perfectionist, or you cannot be too sensitive that you're gonna just cry or be disturbed or be like wanted to disappear like a crab inside your cage, because something on the other side can be pushing on you, because this happen a lot. People that are sensitive tend to feel very disturbed from the other side of the energy, the Capricorn energy. And I'm bringing this energy. It can be Aries energy, but I'm bringing because it's the other side, right? So the work with the balance, the most deep you feel, the most you need to connect with the earth. You need to connect with, try to ground, like we all say, go grounding. What is the go grounding? Go grounding is exactly that. When you feel more connected with the emotions, go grounding. This is exactly, go Capricorn. Go connect with the earth. Go put your feet on the air, stability, put your skeleton in line, or sit, be stable, be contained. You can use the other elements, you can breathe, you can sing, you can do many things, but it's like we all heard the go grounding when the emotions are overflowing. Now, this part of the chart is the family roots, because it's the mother and it's the ancestry. So whatever happened in our 4th house or in our Cancer area in the chart, because remember that overlap is related with the ancestral, is water, is bringing information from the Pisces, from the water of Pisces, and is releasing information on the Scorpio, that is the release, is the excretory system. So these 3 water systems, that is the roots of the tree, and is this part of the tree. Remember, this is the sunrise, or this is the area where you bring the information from the mist. And the water of Scorpio are gonna make this system to grow. The system is you. The system is you receiving the information from your past lives, from your cellular memories, from your mom and your dad. You bring it in and you make something for your future. This is the giving part. You make something from the future and to give to humanity through this house. Is the house, if you remember, the Cancer is here and the Capricorn is here. So this is also the masculine giving to the world, giving to humanity. Your gifts are there. Your father is there, the protection. You see the congruence, like is very connected. Is giving, is receiving and giving. Like this, the toroid. You have here the ascendant, descendant. This is a toroid, like we use in many things. This is the receiving part, the feminine, and this is the giving. Is related to the father, is related to the mother, is related to the ancestry, is related to the gift to the world. So when you see the chart in the astrology, it's not the mathematical only. It is, but it's a lot of information. This is the toroid that is your chart. The galaxy has the same toroid and is connected with the human heart and is connected with the heart of the earth. So this is not just happening in your chart, it's not just happening in your body, it's not just happening in the earth. We are all fractals. And the last one that you see on the paper of your chart is also the same fractal that you see on the galaxy or in your body or the planet. And I put this one because this is the last one that we did with the helium. Matias Toroid Day, working with the alchemy. And here you can see that's an apple. That is the perfect astrology chart, if you see it. You're gonna remember now, the family is down there, the seeds of the apple or the seeds that you have to give to the world, they are up there to give the next fruit. The same with the other fruits. I think it's an orange, it might be a peach, I don't know what is that, but you see everything is connected. Everything is connected from the mother to the father, from the negative to the positive, to the yin, to the yang. And here we come to your chart. Now, I'm gonna give this example. That is my chart. So what you do, what we did actually, I'm gonna make it smaller, is find, this was my Aries, this was my Taurus, This was my Gemini house. And here is my Cancer, right? So which house is my Cancer? And you might look at your chart and find where is your Cancer. I'm a Gemini, but it's right in the cusp. So it looks like a Cancer. So you find in your chart where is your Cancer. So Cancer is in my 10th house of the father, and you see the overlapping, and in your chart you're going to have the energy of the feminine, of the receiving, and of the Cancer 8 house. Perfect. See, you're going to have it in a different place. So what you have to do is like put the energy of what we just talked with the house and blend it. Now, you also, when you go to your chart on the 12th system, you're gonna only find that my Cancer is in the 10th house, and for me personally is the mother and the father, is the feminine inside the masculine. It's like opposite. So you also find where is the moon, because it is talking about the same. Remember, Cancer is going to be found in here, and where the moon is. So I know that my moon is in Aquarius, and I know that in my 4th house, I have the North Node. So that is all my Cancer energy. And that's what I'm going to look for my lymphatic system, or in my case, because it's connected with my 10th house, that is the skeleton. Now, when we finish all the systems, you're going to be able to do this overlapping on your own, but I'm showing you my case. It is my lymphatic connected with my skeleton, or my feminine with my mother with my father. So my emotions and my health situations as well with my lymphatic might be related emotionally with situations with my mother, situations with my father, situations with, this is the North Node, is also in my 4th house of Cancer, is finding my North, is related because it's the moon. Is you look where your moon or your mother is, and is the moon well aspected, or is the moon having an issue? And I will show the next chart, because this is my chart, but also what I do with the clients and what we do when we go to the next level of the astrology is, this is the same, but with the transits. You can see transits here, Los Angeles, that's where I live. So look at my moon. My moon soon, in a couple of years, is going to be visited by Mr. Pluto. So I know it can be my lymphatic system, it can be related to Pluto, it can be related to Aquarius. So that's what I say, you make a blend. It's not direct, it's not 2 + 2. Astrology is always so much combination that it can be intense. But I know that my moon, my Cancer, my emotions, and my body is gonna go through death and rebirth. It's gonna go through a big shock and big change and big water process, because Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. So it's another dark night of the soul, or another excretory system, like meaning squeezing the good and the bad and rebirthing, or who knows. So you use also the transits to see where, for example, here you find your Cancer in your 12 system chart, and the astrologer is going to see that in this case Jupiter is on top of my of my South Node, meaning my karma or all the tools that I have on my Cancer, on my waters. So I can say Jupiter is expansion, is information, is kind of a positive charm, and it's going to give me a new perspective or a new lesson. So knowing that my South Node of things that must be to happen, or that I bring from past life, or karma, or dharma, or is meant to be, Jupiter is going through that area, or is going also through my Venus, my feminine side, or my Mercury. So all that in my waters is gonna shake, is gonna make bubbles, let's say it. It's gonna move my lymphatic system, it's gonna move my emotional system, and it's gonna bring me more chaos, more calm waters, or depends how I manage that energy. That's why we are doing this, because knowing the astrology is like, yeah, I can tell you the weather is sunny today and it's gonna be 80 degrees, but if you don't have, or it's gonna be like 20 degrees, but if you don't have an umbrella, or if you don't have a jacket, or if you don't know how it's gonna rain, like it's gonna be flooded, everything, you know, if you're not prepared for what is coming, it's gonna be different than just, you know, go with the flow, and knowing the information is not relevant. So that's how we work with the 12 system. It's not just the information, is bringing down to the reality that your emotions, in my case, Jupiter is there, is moving through my communication, my values, my karma or dharma. Soon it's going to go through my sun. So that I know that when it keeps moving, and I think it already went through my sun. So it's gonna slap my face. It's gonna shake me. It's gonna give me some information. So that's why the transits are also important when you do the reading. Not just the chart. Of course, the information in the chart is a lot, but to see what is happening today in your 12 system, or in your body, or if you are on your illness, is important as well. I'm going to go back to this one, because when I got diagnosed, and I got evicted from a house after 15 years with 2 lawyers that they were corrupt. It was an illegal eviction. I had the city on my side, and my lawyer, the free lawyer that I got for legal aid, like sold my case to the other lawyer, and they kicked me out with nothing. I was expecting some money to move out, but it was a disaster. So what happened? I knew that it was my Chiron return. If you see this Chiron, of course I didn't know that I was going to have a health issue. This is the house of health. Look at my health. So many things happening. The eclipse that is coming in a few days is going to be on my health house. So also I need to prepare. I need to know. I already know my health is going through a lot. So I know the eclipse is going to be there. And I thank God I already passed the Chiron return, that it was a 51, and it was the disaster of my diagnosis, the eviction. I had to move. But when you see the transits, and you know that if something is coming, something might happen. Again, I'm gonna say something that I told one of our friends from the Yo Soy, and my other friends. Not always something bad happened, because I know people that they went through the Chiron return and nothing happened. Maybe yes, maybe they had a car accident, or the tire blow, or like maybe it's like aesthetic surgery, or a cyst or something, but nothing major like I had. So I have another friend that she has. I always joke with her and say, listen, I don't get it, because you have like Obama. Like, it was the most amazing chart that I was able to read. and she has no job. She has diabetic. She couldn't find a job, and she was complaining and in a bad space still after many years. She cannot raise up. So sometimes astrology is very on point, but sometimes it doesn't. So with any tools, they give you information, but sometimes nothing is coming, nothing is going to happen. So don't be scared. Like when I saw my Chiron return, of course, the Chiron return, it was back and forth because it was retrograde. I didn't know what's going to happen. And yeah, some information is going to move, but you never know the level, and you never predict that it's going to kill you, or it's going to be like when my dad passed away, of course, as an astrologer, I went to the chart of my dad, and I went to dig where in the chart is showing that my dad passed. What was going on? And I didn't see it. Or maybe I didn't want to see it, but sometimes other things are playing. Sometimes the level of consciousness, like I say, we are more in the love, or when we fall in love, that we don't even care about the chart, or we don't even need to look, because everything seems perfect. We are in a hard coherence level, vibrating very high, and things, even they are not perfect, seems and feel perfect, or seems not as problematic or as dark. So that's what I say, where is fear in the chart? Where is the fear that I feel when I get some news that are not the best for me or for friends? And where is the love? So that's what maybe help us rise above the chart, or the chart and our body, our health. Yolanda was saying there are things that to heal the body is go within and above. It's not always all sentence in the chart or in the body. Like I say, it's like I'm reading my body because I have a sentence and I have it like a diagnose. I need to rise above, and I need to rise above the water to know that that's not who I am. It's the same with the chart. Yes, I might have cancer cells, like many, but there are ways that we can work it out, or there are many things, new things coming, that we are going to be seeing things in a different way. And it's the same with the chart. It's an integrative medicine. We can call the astrology and all the new tools the same, with the biodecodification, with family constellations. Everything is taking us in a higher level, and in a higher trust, and in a higher perspective. So I think I went too far. Sorry, any questions? Any questions? Let me see. I put more pictures for you to have about the moon, about the water, but it's just for you to have it. Let me stop sharing. Thank you, Rose.
Okay, I'm going to start sharing. I'm going to skip this part because we start already with the cancer and the lymphatic system. This is just to give some structure to the workshop. And I would like to just show this beautiful picture. For me, cancer is a very important sign because the reason why I'm here in my practice as a spiritual and practical coach is because I had I heal a lot with my mother, and the BioNeuroEmotion actually was this tool that I allow me to tap deeply into these emotions of the relationship with my mother, and I believe that the seed of a lot of our path relays there. Like it's the basic, is the seed that we feel contained, but we also feel secure and have the permission of going out to the world. So Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon is the mother, like Barbara was sharing. And this is related to the womb. One of these late Matias post, or I remember if it was a video that he was saying um, that the first tomb of us is our mother's womb. It touched me because I really felt like in that environment, we start receiving emotions, and emotions that she lives, our mother lives, our father lives too, because it doesn't mean that only because we are inside our mother body, we receive the emotions that she's feeling. When we are in her womb, we receive also the information, the emotional information of our father. So that container is already like a big amplifying uh, receiver of all that emotions that will shape also the way we come to the world. The way we come to the world through the birthing is the first trauma that we face. Trauma that has to do with the suffering of the body, the actual body suffering of the mother and also of the baby. And that deep kind of trauma is the fear also that we have sometimes when we want to give birth to a project, something that is dear to our like soul. Is because we have that pain, that suffering in our memory. But just making this aware on us, having that information resurface and recognizing that can be also a very potent a potent energy that pushes, project us to what we want to give to the world. Like Barbara was saying, it's like a tree, and we receive this here. And with everything that we receive from our mother, our father, from that womb, we are here to work through that emotions, that waters, and then to give something to the world. So that emotional container is the one that also make us feel safe, make us feel like welcome to the world, that we're protected, that everything is going to be okay for us to get out of this comfort and nurturing environment that our mother give us. And this, of course, is shaping us in a psychological way and in a biological way as well. Here, I'm just gonna go fast because Barbara talked about this, all that beautifully in her presentation, but you can go through it, and so you can look at the basic questions that you have there to place and locate where is your Cancer, where house, where is your moon, and the energies. We're like connecting now the energies of the sign. We're gonna be transitioning to the body, but it's important to start with the energies of the astrological aspects, because this is kind of like the spirit, right? Like where we have that connection. So Cancer says, I feel, and the energies of the signs are related to what, I talked before about nurturing, containing, family, ancestry, emotional links. Here, Barbara explained, just put this as a reference when you will need it. You have here the astrological chart that you have. Here I put the examples based on this previous chart, so you can kind of see, okay, how I place my moon, or where is my house. So you can use that just as a reference. Barbara, are you raising your hand?
Yes,
I see something.
yes, yes, yes. I want to say something. I'm
Welcome.
sorry. I'm back. I'm back. My battery died, and then it was not charging and all that. Sorry, and we're gonna go after with the question. So what I wanted to say is the fourth house is so important as a container, as a support, because remember what comes after is that is the fifth house. The Leo is when we is the yo soy, the I am consciousness, and it's when the baby or the level of consciousness is just to know who we are or what is the trait. Like some kids are gonna like playing soccer, the other one is gonna play music. It's like it's shaping you. So that fourth house of Cancer or the mother or the nurturing is what is forming us to get into a healthy fifth house where we know who we are, where we were supported to bring out what is really going to be our gift to bring to the other side of Aquarius, like Leo Aquarius in the next class that we're going to do. So that's what is like so important, this fourth house. Each house is important, but this is like the nest of what we are bringing in our personal shape. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, and like you're saying, everything is like a journey. So we're gonna be connecting all of that through that journey. So yeah, here is just to show you the chart. So you have you know, the aspects that we work when they're gonna work in this section of the lymphatic in Cancer. So if we're thinking of the 12 system, you want to start thinking of a person. This is related also to the partner or ex. So this person is the one that is gonna connect us in a way of like mirroring us. If we cannot connect the, for example, Cancer energies or water energies or the lymphatic system with ourselves, sometimes we can see it through another person. And that's why Matias put here now a partner or an ex that we have. And we can see if we can connect any information related to all these energies that we're talking today. I'm sorry, what I did. Sorry. I jumped into too far. Okay. All right. So here, as Barbara was explaining, we just finish our 4 quarter, like a quarter or like an arc, the body arc, I call it, with all these four signs, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, through the body of the reproductive system, muscular system, respiratory, and lymphatic. That's important to see it in the perspective of an evolutionary journey because this complete the physical rooting process. So in Aries, we seed, we ignite the life process, the projects, we impulse ourselves to the beginning, and the next step is to embody, so start getting into a muscular system, the stability, the effort. It talks about the building form, the values, and moving through the wheel. In Gemini, we start exchanging that information, connection with people, coordination. And in Cancer, we are there to find the containment, the nourishment, the cleansing, the emotional bonding. So in Cancer is where I belong, where I belong, connecting to, of course, the womb, but all this path is starting Pisces, in the womb of the mother. We walk to all these four elements and four aspects. We arrived again to the womb in a way, like the Cancer, emotional, watery container to get out of the world now in a different way in Leo, in a fire again, in a different aspect. So everything is going to be evolving. So once we have the sparking Aries, the value in Taurus, and the breath in Gemini, we must find this place that where I belong in Cancer. And like I was saying before, sometimes we are always looking for that mother, right? Like some of us had a different relationship with their mothers. I have my moon conjunct as Saturn, and probably Barbara will know what that means. So I had that experience of a mother, and other people have like mothers that are more nurturing, more close, but always we always look for this perfect ideal mother nurturing container contain protection that embrace us. And the key here is to understand that we, with the experiences we go through our life, we need to discover that we are this container, we are this mother that should be awakened in us, um, and not expecting to have a perfect mother, because nobody has a perfect mother. So Cancer is that moment when we ask ourselves that I feel enough to grow with the mother I am, with myself. I am a protector, I am a nurturing, I am my container, and I feel secure to get out of to the world with these emotional aspects of myself. That is okay to feel these emotions. It is okay to embrace these emotions. That is secure, um, and then we can start our next steps of like creating in Leo, right, with our authentic self. So here, I love this image because it represents what that moon energy is for me, that represent this biological memory, the imprint of the past of our ancestors that are stored in our body, in our cells. Um, we, the mothers, are the containers that bring us to the world, to this physical world. They carry that information also with them, within them, and for that, I think we should, or I at least, I realize that, and I should be thankful for that, because all these energies, all these emotions are painful, and the mother is the one that carry all that. Um, so to connect with that information, that Cancer connect us with this ancestral memory for a reason, because we are going to be also containers to information that give birth to something, to the world, to our kids or our projects. So to recognize this in our ancestral family, in our mothers, and our grandmothers, to honor that, I think is very important for our path, any path anybody will decide to do. So this is just a remembering of like the importance of honoring our ancestors, honoring where we come from, because they are vessels in this process of giving birth was through the body is a painful and hard process. Sometimes we don't put our attention on that, but I think it's important, because the same way when we want to give birth to a project or an objective in our life, we go through that process, and sometimes it's very painful. So the lymphatic system is the one that gives or represents this biological protection through the emotional safety. We're gonna see how the system acts like a protector to our body, and emphasize the importance of the receiving the care, the protection, and because the lymphatic system works with the waters that are within us, are really connected to the emotions and the water element. So the water elements that represent the sensitivity, the emotions, the adaptability as well, the fluidity, the intuitive realm of the human experience. We're going to see it reflected in this system. So in Cancer, like Barbara was explaining, three signs are connected to water. In Cancer, the water is not expansive like in Pisces, or is not intense like in Scorpio, but is the contained water that held within our vessel. And here is the tree that I love how Barbara explained that about the toroid. When I was preparing the slides, I really tap into that important information that I tell myself to remind how we are fractals, and the lymphatic system, you can see it in the right in the picture, is for me is like it's like these water systems that are inside a tree or a plant. Why they are connected to the moon? Because the moon tides, the moons are affecting the water tides. It's the same way in the plants. When we plant in different stages of the moon. Our bodies are the same way. So there is, it's interesting what Barbara was explaining about this treatment she's doing with the microbes, because I learned that a way that there is this type of mosquito that if they bite us, they uh, get like or transmit a type of small kind of worm that goes into our lymphatic system, and sometimes these make us make the people like have problems with swollen legs, for example. So it's interesting because for me it's like it shows how we are so alike of this nature, and I connect a lot with nature. So the three also here is for me is also representing that bonding with our ancestral home. So the lymphatic system speaks of that need of emotional self-protection and belonging, and the body filters not only the biological ways, but also the emotional experience, and is tied to our tree, to our family. Yes, Barbara.
Yes. I wanted to add something related to the motherhood, the lymphatic system, the water, because I went through menopause. That is like no, it's like the ability to bring to life a baby. You know, you can bring to life any other project, but it's also related with the detoxification of the body, and it's also related to what I was going to say. This is menopause, brain fog. I don't know what I was going to say, but all is related to the waters, and it's related to the move and the lymphatic system, because everything that the way of this detoxify the body after menopause, when we are not creating life anymore, even the change of the mood, so many things related to the emotions that comes after, like that fourth house of giving birth turns into something different. It is reflected into the body, and in many levels, even creating the other stuff. So I
Yeah.
wanted to say that. And of course, with the menopause, my the brain fog is sorry,
Don't worry,
something like that.
we're getting there.
Something like
It
that.
happens to me also.
Sorry.
That's okay. Anybody else has a question, or I can continue? Nobody else have a question? Okay.
So I just have a quick
Yes.
comment.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
just so I love this word regenopause. That I heard once. I think it was from Barbara Hubbard, if any of you know who she is. But it's that phase when, like you've gone through menopause and you don't create babies anymore, but you create other things. you just have a different way of creating at that point of life. And she used the word regenopause, and I just love that. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you. I like it too.
Love it.
And yeah, and this is like what I was talking about, giving birth. Not only, we already passed these phases, I already have a son and I'm not gonna give birth to any other human in this life, but I am in the process of like creating, projects and we don't stop creating, right? We don't stop giving birth to things. So it's very important that concept and being aware of like, this is a constant process in our life. We constantly giving birth. This chart is just to differentiate between the medical astrology and the biological system. I just put it on a reference because a lot of people ask if it's the same thing. For Matias, this system related to cancer is the lymphatic, but like you see here in the astrological body, medical astrology, cancer is related to the stomach, the chest, the uterus, and the alimentary system. So it's just another perspective. So in the biological system of the lymphatic, the biological function basically are all the waters that are in our body through that system cleanse, protect. So the fluids drain through our body. Is really connected to the immune system as well, because not all the systems are not separate. They work within other systems. So the lymphatic system is very connected to the immune system and also to the circulatory system. I think it's very interesting because the circulatory system is Pisces. It's also another water sign and is the last sign, right? The one that we go back to the womb. So because when the body with the lymphatic system drain and do all this cleansing in our body, also it connects with that blood streams and that goes to the circulatory system. So that biological functions of transport the immune resources and maintain also the inner safety because it's like cleansing, like we were saying. That's some biological functions that I'm going to see in the next a little bit more explain the parts of this system in the next slide. And the symbolic function basically is really related, like everything that you see, the body is very literal. When the body is doing some function, and the symbolic meaning is doing the same way with our emotions. So here in the symbolic function is also about emotional drainage, the protection, when we feel that is okay to express these emotions, when we feel like, it's toxic. Also is connected to the ancestral memory, as we saw, like the lymphatic system look like the kind of the tree, they connect these waters. So these systems of fluids that go inside the trees are very similar. And the symbolic function also is connected to the self-image, because if we feel secure, we know we're confident, and also the ability to manage the danger, because it's very protective. It's like a cancer crab, right? He's very protective. When we feel that the environment is not secure, we go inwards, our vessel, right? We go inwards and we protect ourselves sometimes too hard, not letting our emotions be free. And also we live in this society, in this culture that teach us how we're supposed to, what is a good thing to express and what is not. And I think these beliefs should be also changing. We need to put an consciousness about what is important to express and how we express it. And everything is okay, and we shouldn't be containing anything without being, feeling free and secure to express. Yes, Barbara.
Hope I
Barbara?
remember.
Yeah.
Hope I remember now. Yes,
Yeah.
I wanted to say that talking about the fourth house of Cancer, that in mundane astrology is the population, and the opposite or the other side of the axis is the government. So it's also related, or how the structure or how the population related also to the lymphatic system, because all these raids, all this what is going on, trying to remove all the toxins. The astrology is not, or the systems is not only on the body. The earth is also a body and is reflected in the humanity. So it's also playing out in the society, and the all this revolution that is going is just the lymphatic system of this earth trying to clean and bring new energies, and is also related government and us, the population. So I wanted to bring that. So when you are talking, it's also you can see it as a fractal of what's coming, what's going on outside in the news.
Yeah, and totally, because now that you mention it, it's like this population, like the people, the communities, like they're kind of cleaning, right? Like what is connected, I see it in the way I see it is like the governments, and they're like our paternal, or like our ancestors, our blood circulation of information, and how now this what is happening with the people and the rates and all of that is like this secondary circulatory system, which is the focusing on, and also cleansing, defending, and make the balance, the circulatory system of the waters in our body balance and fluid. So it's really related. Everything is related, and thank you for that, because it's the way of at least my intention is to see this as not something separated, not like a biology class. Is to connect with what is related to us, what is happening in our government, in our life right now, the energies that are moving in our families, and these systems are talking about all of that. Like if you can see here, I'm not going to talk about all the parts, but I just highlight some parts of that, what this system is working like in the immune system. So it's about activating our defense responses. It's also returning, like the lymph collects excess fluid and return them to the bloodstream. So it's connected to that blood, right? The circulatory system of the blood that we have. The transporting of, also lymphs that are connected to the muscles. So everything is a system that is interconnecting, and it's important to start connecting that also in our life. How we feel fluid, how we respond to a threat that is outside, and how we start living that system, that this lymphatic system in our everyday life. It's not just this biology, it's also our everyday life, that we should be connecting with all these elements. So that system is very linked to emotions, of course, because it's water, linked to that protection, the belonging, and the emotion and containment. I just listed here so you can start connecting with, like, okay, when I see myself in this situation of, for example, attachment, or I have a fear of losing emotional connection with my family, that has to do with the lymphatic system. Or if you have a problem with the lymphatic system, you observe if you have these emotions that are connected, like need of protection, defend a territory, not putting emotional boundaries, or you when you getting you feel like you are not, people are getting into your space, and you feel overwhelmed because people are demanding too much or have a lot of expectations, or if you feel that you're suppressing your emotions because you feel vulnerable if you express it, and you just hold that with tension because it's, for example, like we were commenting with Yoli, especially, well, I think in our, at least in my background, that I'm from South America, I hear all the time saying, no, you shouldn't, the boys are strong, they shouldn't cry. So it was not accepted the same way as if a man was expressing their emotions or crying than with women. And even though I remember I'm a very, I don't know, I never could contain my crying when I'm watching movies. And at some point, I judged myself a lot about that. I'm like, and I feel even embarrassed because I couldn't contain my crying. I just like I couldn't. And not only in the movies. Sometimes the movie is like not very sad and I cry. And I realized I think it was one of the trips with Matias that we went to Saqqara, and the the they were talking there. I don't know which was taught or who, but we're talking about the importance of the tears. And he was saying that the tears are our medicine, that let the tears go through your through your cheeks until it goes into your mouth, and take that tears and recognize that these are your healing. And after I took consciousness of that, I didn't judge myself about this, and I realized that this is okay, that the tears actually are very important for us to drink them when they flow in a natural, way. It's a beautiful, for me, it's like a beautiful way of showing how everything is useful, right? And how everything it should be flowing in our body, these emotions, these liquids, this water. So here we can ask these questions of how I feel, how safe we feel to belong or to be vulnerable, or to let emotions experience the flow without fear of invasion or loss or abandonment or like judgment. So in BioNeuroEmotion, which is one of the practices I do, we tap a lot into the emotional part, also the patterns, the belief system that we receive from our ancestors and how these affect our biology. And I just listed here a few questions related to this system, and to the waters and to the emotions, like what emotions, fears or loyalty I might have inherited, because sometimes we don't know why we have certain emotions, and this is very important to realize, to take consciousness about it, because sometimes we judge ourselves not knowing that we are a vessel that receive all that information from our ancestors, and it is in there because of a reason. It's in there because we need to use that as a tool to transform it, to transcend it. Any information that was not integrated, it didn't transcend. So we, the descendants, are receiving all that with the tools that we have right now to keep working on this and keep evolving. This is a system. Our tree, our family, our ancestor is a system. The same way we are part of a bigger system, which is, our community, our country, our earth. I'm not going to read all of the questions, but these are a few of them here. And one of them that I was like, from my own experience, that I listed there is like how I was thinking before. This old thinking was, where is my mother, right? Where was this emotional container or protector? And I feel that all my life. I feel that I didn't have that, and until I realized that I need to realize that I am my own mother, and I cannot decide how is my mother. I cannot expect that she will change, because this is not, this is not being respectful or their own path. But I can always take the decision how I want to be as my own mother, how I live this motherhood in me, and that I nourish myself and I mother me, and I give me this containment in this protection to be and feel secure about myself, to go out of the world, to give what I came here to give to the world. So here on the space, when we talk about the space and time, just the space, is the element, which is the water related to Cancer. And we can ask the questions for our 12 systems. You are building the 12 system for yourself. Is in which circumstances I live this energy in my life. So how am I myself about expressing emotions or feelings? If I have boundaries, if I feel secure expressing my emotions. And on the time is the stages that where in which stage I'm living this. So you can ask this question. For example, some people feel like they don't have any problem expressing their emotions. They feel comfortable. It's okay with them, and they probably are living that stage in the transcendence. Maybe they're transcending that, or some of them they're just start experimenting to connecting with the emotions, with the feelings, with the inner self, and maybe they are in the expressing or the experimenting stage. So it's about recognizing in what stage you are living these energies. And in the person, like I said, the person is the one that is gonna mirror us, mirror these energies. And in here we use a partner or an ex. This is what Matias suggested, but I will say just whatever you feel, so you can see and connect with these energies and with this lymphatic system. So transgenerational patterns are like all this information that we receive from our trees, from our ancestors. And I just listed here for you to read whenever you would like, what symbolically I see, and I can relate and start, connecting with this system. So, for example, here some of them are like stories of loss and displacement in my family, or the protection that exists in my lineage. If I had a family figure that has to be emotionally strong for others. For example, in my family, the women were like the stronger ones and not the men, because they were the ones that sustained the family, like a lot of like divorce or like widows, and they were the strong figures. And this, of course, shaped me, shaped my sisters and my brother, and and you start like seeing all the patterns. And I think the most important thing for me here, tapping with this information, is just you grow and you stop like judging. You start understanding what is this path, and that everything happens for a reason. You have this for a reason. So knowing your tree, knowing your past, is how you build in the future. It's like I think Matias was saying, the further you go to the past is how you're gonna get closer to the future. Sometimes, and they, of course, our society and the culture told us not to talk about the past, what happened in the family, and nobody talks about it. A lot of secrecy that is actually like not giving the information to go forward, and it's kind of like you're trying to find the clues, and why, if I had information, would be probably easier for me to start, giving more steps and in the more efficient way. Yes, Barbara.
Yes, I wanted to add, related to the family tree and the ancestral memories from the 12th house of the cellular memories, and the 4th house Cancer, all this family tree. In my case, as an example, mine is very clear, so that's what I wanted to use it. My family, my dad's family, They were all owners of hotels in Argentina, in Capilla del Monte and La Falda. So I'm coming from a hotel, not even a house. They live in hotels. There was a business, there was a home, and mostly everybody lost the hotel, the economy, whatever. So in my obsession is to have a house. I save money to buy a house, and I lose the money. Something happened. I had the money to buy the house before I was planning to go back to Argentina. This situation happened. I stay and I use the money for healing or whatever. So I see the repetition and I see the pattern, and the fourth house of Cancer is home, is the house. So I see it is very related to that, to the family pattern with the home, losing the home, getting the home, being obsessed with getting it, not being able to get it. The body is the home as well. You can treat it as the home. So the healing and my healing, even my own personal body healing, is related to that. I still processing the fact of that I want I feel like I want a home. Why everybody in my family that they have hotels, they lost it. What happened in that process? What is the detachment from the Scorpio? The lose that home base and the energy of protection and all that. So I wanted to share that because it's related with this ancestral information and the fourth.
And actually, now that you're sharing this, Barbara, it resounds with me because it happened with the story on my family. They lost land, or there were a lot of moving, and I want all my life a house. So I feel related with what you're saying, and this urge for you to wanted something and keeping it maybe is not just you. And this is, I'm not saying, that's the truth. I'm just seeing in this perspective. It can be part of their need or their suffering of losing it. So on the when you tap into that subconsciously, unconsciously, you can connect with this information. When you connect with this information, you realize that what is me, what is my real need, me, Barbara, I am, from now on, or if this is something that is, of course, is in you because you need to close that path. If you have siblings, maybe not all of them feel the same, because when in the family tree, it's like you have everybody has a piece of a cake, and your part is that. And actually, your body is your home, your house, and you are doing things to keep it healthy, to not losing it in a way. I'm just saying this, so probably it relates to you, but this is something that you can, in the practice of going in the subconscious, you can have that information, and also you can have the information who is the one that you are connecting directly in your tree, because it's like there is a suspect in your tree that is the one that is giving you that package. And if you know how this person experienced that, and where what things like it experienced, or he or she experienced, and it couldn't close that cycle, you understand, okay, now I accept that. I need to close this cycle because this ancestor gave it to me, and this is part of my path. But then this is not my whole path. This is one part of what I need to do, but now I can be more free of do my own path. I don't know if I might explain myself, but
No,
I'm trying
yes, it
to.
was perfect.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's interesting because if you want to see it, we can, work it out in the sessions if you would like, because it's very
Sure.
relieving, and it helps, it gives you a lot of information that is useful. So here I just listed a little of the practices that are related to this. I really love the inner child. I think I heard in astrology when some astrologers work with the moon, they connect with the inner child and also the rebirthing and the ancestral memories. There is many different practices that you can do related to all these Cancer, moon, water, lymphatic. But I just listed these three because I think that is the ones that I feel that is more connected to my experience and how important is to start working on that inner child. What is the need of the inner child? We work, we live, we feel, we experience life with that inner child. It's not a pass of you. It's there. It's like you're walking with your inner child next to you. And this inner child had needs and things that they probably were not allowed to do or express when they were when you were a child. Some dreams, some desires that it wasn't unconclusive and not completed, and that inner child is the one that is gonna connect with that emotions as an adult. So it's important to do this connection. I recommend it to connect with your inner child, to re-anchor in yourself, um, to recognize that you're working and walking with this inner child for the steps that you're doing in your life, and recognize that you are safe, you belong here, that your body knows how to protect you. Either way, if you had protectors or not, you are with your inner child. You protect that inner child. Now you are your mother. This is what I was thinking about, like talking about being your mother. It's like you have like I picture as like you have this child, and now you can say to the child, "I'm here. I embrace you. I protect you. I walk with you." And this is a beautiful practice. The rebirthing breath is like just it can be through breath, or it can be I know there is different rebirthing practices out there, but it's basically going. I did one that it was fun to do that we did with a group of people, and all the people made like this uh, shape of like a tunnel that you go in there, but this is the tunnel of birthing also, and then they start telling you all these things that you probably wanted to hear, right? Like in this process of giving birth, and probably it was trauma and painful and maybe a lot of emotions. But now redoing it in a psychomagic way is really symbolically and really powerful when you go to that and people telling you you're welcome, you're desired, you are allowed to be here. Especially that you're welcome, and I embrace you to be in this life. And the ancestral emotional return is that is really connect with what is yours that you receive from your ancestors, to honor them because they came before you, and whatever they decided to do, even if it was by your eyes or the eyes of your family not good or not positive, they needed to do that for you to be here. So this is very important to honor them. And when you realize that, to return what is not yours anymore to carry. It's like this urge of like probably having or owning a home. Maybe it was this ancestor that lose their home or the properties, and they didn't go through the process with love, but rather with pain and suffering and trauma. And now, when you live through your life and your experience, and you transit that and transform it through love and comprehension and acceptance, you can give them back this and say, give it back to you. This is not useful for me anymore. This is not mine. And now I walk my path. I like to close this with this with this phrase of I give myself permission to feel, to belong, and to be protected without needing to stay alert. And I would like to invite you just to close this part, connecting with our body, with our lymphatic system, with our emotions and waters, with energies of Cancer. I would like to invite you to receive all the information that you need to receive from this ancestor. They give it to you because you have these tools right now to help you treat, to help your system. You are wise, you are conscious, you are supported, and you are loved. Receive with openness all these emotions that go through your body, flow through your lymphatic system, to your vessels. Receive that with freedom. Receive your tears with this medicine that you need, that your soul needs, that your emotions need, with your body also needs. Your tears are the minerals that your body needs in that moment. It's a beautiful cycle of emotion waters in yourself, within yourselves. I receive this and I embrace it as a mother that I am for myself, that protects me, embraces me, nurture me. And with this inner child that lives and walks with me, I walk in the life, giving the next step with strength and security. Thank you.
Thank you so much for everything, girls, for
Thank you.
everything that you prepare is beautiful. What you're teaching us, your knowledge, your experiences, your vulnerability is beautiful. Thank you so much. I really like it.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for staying, for supporting us, to be open, because for us it's very important to do this, and it's our little grains, and how do you say, granito de arena? And we are passing this on for everyone to
Yes,
get
thank
access.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for your presence and for sharing everything, because we were learning, I personally learned from Rose, for everybody here when it shares, and thank you for being here, because I feel like we are this network growing and sharing from our heart, from our soul, and that's putting a seed. So thank you for being part of it.